What up? It's your boy T-Burn Reaction. Today's from Friday. So, that being said, about to do one more video. Was going to do two more, but it's going to just be one more. And it's the latest from the Weird History timeline movies of the 80s. And we're going to take a look at 1983. Everything happened in movies in 1983, though, as well, too, though. Like I said, during the 80s 2 video and the 80s 2 about music, the whole things about the 80s started within 82, so this is definitely still the rise of the 80s right here as well too. So without further ado, you want to check out what was the things in the 80s, as well as what was the things behind the scenes in the 80s as well too, as far as movies. So without further ado, let's get it.
Like all Bond films, it attracts the world's press.
Oh, yeah.
I don't expect you to give away the plot, but what's it about?
It's about
James
this
Bond.
agent called James Bond, who is licensed to kill, and he's killed
licensed to kill.
Oh, we know all that.
1983 was an important year.
Well, nah, it can't be Licensed to Kill, because Licensed to Kill came out in the 80s.
Year for film, and not just because it was the year a film called Octopussy was in the theaters,
Octopussy.
and we all pretended that wasn't weird.
And because it's Bond, there are lots of octopuses.
3 different Stephen King movies scared up tickets, clinching his reputation as the most popular horror figure of the decade.
The ice is gonna break!
And the biggest film franchise of all time came to a close for the first time. We're taking you through all of the best movie-related news and events of the 1980s. This is Timeline Movies. We're working hard for the money because this one is all about 1983. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the Weird History channel and tell us your favorite movie memories from 1983 in the comments below. Now, are you ready to find out what was going on in movies the year what we now call the internet officially went online?
Sit back, get some corn, and it's movie time.
On February 11th, the Rolling Stones took their act to cinemas with the concert film Let's Spend the Night Together.
It's not a, handheld sort of rock and roll movie. It's much more produced, glossy Hollywood film than previous.
Assembled from footage shot over 2 concerts, the movie is now widely regarded as one of the best concert films of all time. And March 25th brought the release of the Francis Ford Coppola-directed coming-of-age drama, The Outsiders. The story of 2 rival gangs duking it out in Tulsa, Oklahoma in 1965.
Now, I'd like to say a few words about the Rumble tonight. What's going on?
You had all the rain.
A lot of before they stars in this movie as well too. From Patrick Swayze, Tom Cruise, Ralph Macchio, Matt Dillon, Emilio Estevez, C. Thomas Howell, and Rob Lowe. Man,
When we would turn off the rain machines, you could just see
the
the steam coming off of Tom and Patrick and all those kids.
The movie's incredible cast featured C. Thomas Howell, Emilio Estevez, Matt Dillon, Tom Cruise, Patrick Swayze, Ralph Macchio, and Rob Lowe in his film debut.
God damn you guys, leave me out of it!
Credited with kicking off the Brat Pack genre, the film was met by mixed reviews, but has since become a cult
I know this was like considered the kickoff of the Brat Pack.
classic, spawning a TV series and even a Broadway musical.
Nothing gold can stay.
Morning! How it's being eaten! You see?
Makes you
Farm
sick,
Line
doesn't
Papa
it?
series.
I mean, what's it all about?
By 1983, the British comedy troupe Monty Python already had an iconic TV show, as well as a series of hit movies. And on March 31st, they released the sketch comedy film The Meaning of Life. Due to the death of Graham Chapman in 1989, the movie, which placed 6th at the box office in its opening weekend, would be the final film to feature all 6 members of the group.
Darling, you didn't use canned salmon, did you?
It's Oscar time. Custom
Alright, who's
dictates that we explain the voting
who bigger
procedures.
All active Academy members may vote on nominations for the 5 Academy nominations made by members of each Academy.
The piracy guy.
Writers, achievements of the year, actors, nominate actors, directors, nominate directors, etc.
2 weeks later, the 55th Academy Awards were team hosted by actors Walter Matthau, Liza Minnelli, Dudley Moore, and Richard Pryor. Winners on the night included Louis Gossett Jr. for An Officer and a Gentleman, Jessica Lange for Tootsie, and Best Actress Meryl Streep for Sophie's Choice.
My speech.
It's just speech there. Okay. Short speech.
But the big winner was Gandhi. which earned Best Director for Richard Attenborough,
Nice.
Best Actor for Ben Kingsley, and Best Picture.
I thought the show really went off very well. I thought it was one of the most beautifully mounted shows. To me, that's
Atari.
entertainment.
And music starts and you feel
Flash-
it. Your body just moves.
Flash Dance.
There's something inside of you that just clicks and you're gone. It's like you're somebody else.
4 days later, the decade-defining movie Flashdance was released. Despite being savaged by critics, the MTV-influenced movie, which was the first production of legendary Hollywood producing team Don Simpson and Jerry Bruckheimer, would finish as 1983's third highest-grossing film, produce a chart-topping soundtrack, and wind up being regarded as one of the decade's most influential movies.
Flashdance. If a dream comes true just one time, it can change your life for all time.
First, understand, there's this valley, the San Fernando Valley. In the valley, of course, there are girls. And like all teenage girls, they talk. But as scholars of the language note, in a most peculiar way.
What happened to my zitzing gets so dirty?
AKA Tommy Pickles.
Are you super novel? Man, he's just like tripendicular, you know?
Finishing out the month, the teen romantic comedy Valley Girl hit theaters on April 29th. The movie stars Deborah Foreman and Nicolas Cage as a Valley Girl and a punk who fall in love and sought to capitalize on the 80s Valley Girl fad.
I know what this is. It's your friends, right?
Off for sure. Like totally.
Powered by positive reviews, the movie did well at the box office and is now regarded as a cult classic. In 2016, MGM announced it was remaking Valley Girl with Happy Death Day's Jessica Rothe in the title role. The movie was planned for a 2018 release, but wound up being shelved because of the controversial behavior of co-star Logan Paul. Instead, it
Them damn Pauls, I tell you.
was quietly released to streaming services in 2020.
Oh, wow.
Released that same day, the erotic horror flick featuring David Bowie and Catherine Deneuve as a vampire couple seeking help from a scientist played by Susan Sarandon. It received mixed reviews.
When the hunger got so much, you lost all reason, then you have to feed. And then you need me to show you how.
But performed well at the box office and launched the career of Tony Scott, who would go on to make genre favorites like Top Gun, True Romance, and Enemy of the State. Just over 3 weeks later, the first ever made-for-cable movie, The Terry Fox Story, premiered on HBO on May 22nd. A biopic about the life of amputee marathon runner Terry Fox, the film would eventually receive a limited theatrical release in Fox's home country of Canada. The final chapter of the original Star Wars trilogy dropped in theaters on May 25th to kick off the summer movie season.
3 years in the making, waiting for this.
People like to dream.
Wow, man. Look at the fandom back in the day of that, though. That's crazy.
The highly awaited Return of the Jedi introduced the world to Jabba the Hutt, Ewoks, and green lightsabers, and it would easily finish as the year's highest-grossing film, almost tripling the returns of the second highest grosser, Terms of Endearment.
Shall we play a game?
War games!
Let's play global thermonuclear war.
In 1983, barely anyone had even heard of the internet. That all changed after War Games was released on June 3rd.
In the movie, Matthew Broderick had to actually scan the phone number that he needed to get access to download his game that he was after.
That is known as war dialing, where he would just have his computer dial looking for a modem on the other end. What was not accurate about the movie in 1983 was that most schools at that time didn't have computers with modems connected to this thing we now know as the internet.
The film, which featured Matthew Broderick as a high school kid who almost starts a nuclear war after unwittingly breaking into military computers, is largely credited with popularizing the idea of computer hacking and taught us all that when it comes to the game of war, the only winning move is not to play. And June 8th brought the release of the John Landis-directed comedy Trading Places. The movie featured Eddie Murphy as a con artist who switches lives with Dan Aykroyd's stuck-up, wealthy commodities broker.
Dukes ruined my life over a bet. For how much? $1.
The well-received film cleaned up at the box office and is still regarded as one of the decade's funniest comedies, despite its infamous blackface bit.
Hello, security. Merry Christmas.
By 1983, arcade
Dragon
games were a major
Lair.
cultural phenomenon, so it was inevitable that they would begin to attract real Hollywood talent. And one of the first to do so was Dragon's Lair, released June 19th. The game, which followed the adventures of a knight called Dirk the Daring, was really more of an interactive movie, featuring film-quality animation by animator Don Bluth, a former Disney employee who had released The Secret of NIMH the year before.
Now we're taking Hollywood and the screenwriters and we're putting them hand in hand. We'll now work on what will be in the arcade market. And that's why I think you'll find something that is tremendously more exciting, something that will pull you into the screen like you haven't been pulled before.
Awesome.
That animation was facilitated by early Laserdisc technology, which made the highly successful game difficult to port to other platforms. Not that they didn't try.
Scotch?
Not during working hours. Oh, I'm sorry, pal.
I'm gonna rip these walls out.
Mr.
And,
Mom.
Of course, rewire it.
You guys gonna make it all 220?
Yeah, 220, 221, whatever it takes.
Long before he was Batman, Michael Keaton was Mr. Mom. The movie, which dropped on July 22nd, told the story of an automotive engineer who loses his job
Heard you got fired. You're not a bum, are you, Daddy?
No, but I'm working on it.
and is forced to become a stay-at-home dad.
Now look. Run, Kate! Run!
While his wife, played by Terry Garr, returns to the workforce.
Oh, cow. What'd you use, 38?
38, 39, whatever it took.
Despite lukewarm reviews, the John Hughes penned film was a box office hit.
Mr. Mom, a mother of a comedy.
Speaking of John Hughes, he wasn't done with the summer of '83. The Hughes penned National Lampoon's Vacation, based on his own memories of family road trips as a child, hit theaters on July 29th.
This is so dangerous.
So just make us appreciate what we have. Roll them up.
Directed by Harold Ramis, the film starred Chevy Chase as Clark Griswold.
I didn't really know how to dance like Christy. That's total improv there.
A suburban dad just trying to take his family on a cross-country road trip to a Disneyland-like amusement park called Wally World.
And this is no longer a vacation. It's a quest for fun. You'll be whistling Symphony Doodah out of your holes. I gotta be crazy. I'm on a pilgrimage to see a moose.
The film was a hit with both audiences and critics, kicking off an unlikely franchise that includes 5 sequels.
Thank you. Good shot, Audrey.
Star Wars may have come to an end 2 months prior. That didn't stop Krull from trying to ride the sci-fi fantasy wave when it released in theaters on July 29th. The film followed a space prince leading a band of adventurers on a quest to save a princess, also from space, and features early appearances from future stars like Liam Neeson and Robbie Coltrane. The movie was poorly reviewed and flopped at the box office.
I bet.
Tom Cruise dancing around in his underwear, lip-syncing Bob Seger's old-time rock and roll is one of the most referenced images of the 1980s. And that scene came from Risky Business, released on August 5th. The coming-of-age tale follows a high school senior who becomes involved with a call girl while his parents are away from home.
You had a good time last night.
I had a great time.
Risky Business.
Oh, wait a minute. I had to look. I see it was Robert Coltrane. Wait a minute. That's homie from Harry Potter. Wow. I like that because I had a glimpse like, who was Robbie? Why did name sound familiar? Wow. Did not know that. And Kim Marshall, I seen him on stuff. He been on stuff too again as well too.
Going to succeed if there was genuine chemistry between Lana and Joel.
I was so excited about this test. I don't think I slept at all.
I had never met him before, and I remember walking over to him and saying, okay, this is the chemistry test. So let's get some chemistry going.
The box office smash turned Cruise into a household name, paving the way for his Need for Speed just a few years later. Along with 2,000 others, Conan the Barbarian star Arnold Schwarzenegger was naturalized on September 16th at Los Angeles' Shrine Auditorium, as then-girlfriend Maria Shriver looked on. After the ceremony, the future Terminator star would tell the press, "This is the realization of the dream I have had ever since my childhood, to come to America and become an American." And on October 7th, 2003, 20 years after he became a citizen, Schwarzenegger was elected governor of California, the most populous state in the country, with the 5th largest economy on Earth. Schwarzenegger managed to beat out 135 other candidates, all running to replace Gray Davis, the first U.S. governor recalled since 1921. The former bodybuilder drew mixed reviews as governor, but would remain in office until 2011. As the result of one of the most confusing lawsuits in history, the officially unofficial James Bond movie Never Say Never Again hit theaters on October 7th.
Not perfected yet.
After decades in court, writer Kevin McClory won the right to remake the 1965 James Bond feature, Thunderball. And he did so with original James Bond star Sean Connery, who last played the super spy in 1971's Diamonds Are Forever.
Are there things now you can't do as James Bond that you could do 22 years ago?
I mean, you know what I mean. You don't bring in stunt people for the love scenes is what I'm trying to talk about.
Nonetheless, the unusual non-canonical entry in the franchise, which would mark Connery's final performance as 007,
Yeah, I was
less successful.
always wondering about that, like how they usually do that, and if I was not canon.
Successful than Roger Moore's Octopussy, released earlier the same year. It's hard to imagine a time when A Christmas Story didn't exist in perpetuity on TBS. But on November 13th, it was released in movie theaters for the first time.
Is this your first premiere that you've attended?
Yeah, it is, really. Uh-huh.
What do you think of it?
It's a lot of fun.
The film follows a young boy named Ralphie, growing up in the 1940s, who dreams of receiving a BB gun for Christmas.
No, I want an official red undercover 9-200 millimeter rifle.
You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
The largely episodic feature earned solid reviews, but was only a moderate box office success. Thanks to repeated television airings, however, by the end of the decade, it came to be considered
thanks to TBS and TNT.
Christmas classic.
Oh yes.
Believe it or
tradition.
not, Dirty Harry doesn't say,
Go ahead. Make my day.
Until the fourth Dirty Harry movie, Sudden Impact, released on December 9th. The only film in the franchise directed by Clint Eastwood, it also starred his real-life wife, Sandra Locke. The movie, along with Eastwood's direction, drew mixed reviews, but still cleaned up at the box office like the gritty detective himself.
Nobody, I mean nobody, puts ketchup on a hot dog.
Speaking of iconic lines,
Oh,
Al Pacino
yes.
asked us to all say hello to his little friend.
Say hello to my little friend.
When Scarface hit theaters on December 9th. The remake of the 1932 classic of the same name did score high with critics.
This Scarface, even though he would comply, you knew eventually that he couldn't stick to any format. He was out of control, which was an attractive thing in his character to play.
But it was a box office success and has come to be regarded as a modern classic and one of the best crime dramas ever made.
You want a job, brother?
Interesting. I thought they said it was a box office flop at one point, but maybe I was wrong.
Sure,
They're
Tony.
wrong, dude.
Okay.
Hey, man, you got a job.
It also left a deep pop culture footprint
Yes,
and is
it
still
did.
frequently referenced in media to this
Oh,
day.
yes.
Rocky III made Mr. T into a household name, so of course, Hollywood immediately put him in another movie. That movie was the comedy DC Cab, released December 16th.
Hey, why don't you off the street and get a decent job? I need the bread. Then get a job at the bakery.
The movie actually
Right,
stars
fool.
Adam Baldwin
Oh,
as a
wow.
guy who gets a job at a rowdy taxi service. But you wouldn't know it from the movie's poster, which placed Mr. T front and center and fooled many into thinking he was the star. Despite the shenanigans, the film was just a moderate
Bill Maher.
success and has been largely forgotten. And finally, speaking of largely forgotten, the
young
Australian Christmas movie
Nicole
Bush Christmas
Kidman.
was released down under on December 22nd. The movie is about a racehorse saving Christmas for a down-on-their-luck family. And despite sounding like a dozen other Christmas movies released during the 1980s, this one featured a 16-year-old Nicole Kidman in
Wow, two at the time iconic couples separately making their big impact in movies. Tom Cruise in this and Outsider and Risky Business, and Nicole Kidman making her debut in this movie. Wow.
her film debut. Unfortunately, nobody could see the future, so the film flopped at the box office. Or maybe they could see the future, and all they saw were those AMC ads. So what do you think? What was the best movie of 1983? Let us know.
Cool. There you have it, though. Yup. Some good shit moments, though, 83. Very iconic as well, too, though. Next up, we'll come to the year that your child was born. Other than that, though, always good to see Weird History, though. If you like my reaction, like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's your boy T-Bird signing off. One love.